Hi guys, how are you doing today? Hope you are having a sunny day. Ready for some new drama from Askalawyer? Let's go to the first one, about OP's girlfriend, who cheated on OP and is now pregnant with a affair partner's baby, who she is asking OP to be the father to. Listen to the story to find out all the details, and of course to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. My girlfriend had an affair with a coworker, 30 male. She even went on a 7-day vacation with him. After she told me about her affair, she begged for mercy, and we went into counseling. She blocked him and everything, and she showed me that she wanted to fight for our relationship. 3 months into our reconciliation, we were doing great. I even told her that I wanted to have a baby with her someday, and then her face went pale. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me that she was pregnant. It was from an affair partner. I was obviously angry and asked her to have an A or put the baby into adoption, but she wants to keep the baby and making me the dad. I want to be a father, but I want it to be my own child, not someone else's. Should I leave her, or should I try to convince her to A? Edit for more context. We've been together for 4 years. We started as roommates because she needed money to pay her house. The affair lasted 2 months. She confessed the affair to me after a working trip. The affair partner told her to leave me for him. She got scared and left him. She confessed everything to her family and mine as a gesture of reconciliation. I think OP needs a DNA test done in the first place. Best thing would be not to wait and get a prenatal paternity test. If she wants to keep the baby, then that is up to her, not OP. OP should definitely not force her into a decision she doesn't want to make. It's her decision to make, and OP should respect that. Of course, it's up to OP if he wants to forgive her, but in my eyes, it's just lack of self-respect. OP is still young and can find someone who will be faithful to him and respect him. And now let's see if the community agrees with me. Overall Scholar says, of course you should leave her. Do you really want to raise the product of your girlfriend's betrayal? Plus, she's willing to not tell real dad. How can you be okay with that? She could leave and do the same to you one day. Throw RA Lost Again says, one of you getting what you want means that the other one loses, and that is a recipe for resentment. If she terminates the pregnancy, she'll likely grow to hate you for it, and if she keeps the baby, it will be a constant daily reminder of her betrayal, which you will grow to hate her for. You're so young, and there's lots of good stuff waiting on you in the world. Get out there and go find it. There isn't a win on the board here. OK College says, leave before you emotionally invest to the child. Will you be able to accept in your heart to raise someone else's child? Are you sure the child will reciprocate the love and care you give when he or she becomes an adult? What will you do if the real father comes and wants to be a part of the child's life? For sure, it will only remind you of your girlfriend cheating. Update. Someone told me about some other social network that they could be using, so I followed her suggestion, and I went through her laptop. Coworker, affair partner, 30 male, doesn't exist. The real affair partner is my brother, 24 male, and it's been going on for more than 2 months. They have been making fun of me, my body, and my insecurities behind my back. They have been making all kinds of stuff in my house where I was working outside. I work as a cook, but that's not the tip of the iceberg. They got married during the 7-day vacation, and the worst of all, my parents knew about this as well as her family. They were sending photos to each other. I found all this looking through all her chats. She didn't had added my brother, but I know it is him because of the photos and some things that only he knows. Well, I waited for her to come back from work. I was feeling, and am still, broken and really hurt. Once she came back, I asked her immediately about this. She just smiled and told me that she was tired of pretending, that she only stayed with me until the lease was over, and that the child was my brother's. I packed my stuff and left. I'm now with my big sister. She is as shocked and hurt as I am. She has been calling my parents, brother, and girlfriend all day. My parents are the only one who tried to contact me, but I don't answer. I will cut off my parents and brother. Update 2. I've been staying with my sister this 3 days. I've been really sad. She told me what my parents told her, that they want to meet with me to explain everything. She told me that I didn't need to do it if I didn't want to, but I wanted to know everything, so I've met with them this Friday. I went to take some things from my previous house, and my brother was there with my ex, my sister, who came with me in case something happened, almost punched him. He has been repudiated from most of the family, as well as my parents. So that's the update. My family keeps breaking, and I'm looking forward to confronting my parents. Update 3. So yesterday I went to meet my parents with my sister. I had prepared questions, a recording device, and wanted some answers before going no contact. Some people from here advised me to not go, and I should have listened to them. Once I arrived there with my sister, my parents were mad that she was there with me. I told them that they were in no position to make demands. Then they tried to make an apology that didn't sound like one, but I just asked them the first question. For how long did you know about this? They were quiet, but then my father said that they were leaving from their own house for them to make their deeds. Can you imagine? I was not hurt. I was furious. I knew that my brother was the golden child, but this just infuriated me. I just kept asking them questions, and I discovered that the first who discovered the affair was my ex-girlfriend's dad. Then he contacted my parents, and the 4 of them met with my brother and my ex, and the 6 of them came to the idea of the blissful lie. Words of my dad. They didn't want it to hurt me, but they thought that my brother and my ex would be happier together since they decided to betray me in the first place. I was really furious with that. My sister was really pissed too, and she started screaming at my parents. Then my brother came. My sister and I went quiet, and my mom started making stories about mending things and being there as an aunt and an uncle for the baby. My sister was angry and said that she wouldn't be there for that kid. Then my brother said something like, "This will be the only child you will have related by blood." My sister went silent, and I punched him without thinking. This was the first time I punched someone, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest. My brother started bleeding from his nose, and my parents started yelling at me. I just told them that they had lost 2 children, and we left. Now I'm here in my sister's house, and my hand hurts, but I'm happy for protecting my sister and myself. I will start therapy soon, and am thinking in joining the gym too. Update 4. My brother and my parents have pressed charges against me for breaking my brother's nose. So, another bad news to the collection. I'm looking for proof to see if I can sue them back for everything they did to me. I will update soon with more information. Thank you for all your kind messages. I'm still feeling down, but like Elton John said, I'm still standing. My 44 female, mom 64 female, is a little too in love with my ex-husband, 43 male, even though it's been 13 years since our divorce was finalized. My ex and I had 1 child together, a son who is now 16. My mom is hung up on the fact that my ex is a good dad and an extremely loyal person. Also a nice person, except when he's particularly frustrated. Our divorce was caused by me disliking his lack of motivation to improve himself and to build a financial safety net. Instead, he was okay making $17 an hour for a niche artsy small business where most of the employees were there because their passion outweighed their salary expectations. He was a college graduate doing a lot of office management stuff that in every other company would have been paid more. He'd refuse to see reason when I'd tell him that he needed to jump ship before the ship that was a small business being outcompeted in price would sink. Eventually, we realized this was a conflict we could never agree on, and I decided to pull the plug. Since then, I've moved on with a boyfriend, 49 male, who my mom dislikes with a passion. She always taunts him by saying he wins all arguments because he raises his voice so loud that everybody else's voices go out. My boyfriend is an executive VP working in the virtual capital industry. We have 2 kids together, 13 female, 18 female. But he refuses to discuss marriage because he said my first marriage did not work out. So why would I want to go down that path again? In between co-parenting and my boyfriend being my son's de facto stepdad, my ex and I moved from being exes to being friends. We are each other's emotional support, and he deals with my boyfriend's type A executive personality well, which I really appreciate. My boyfriend and I have been having problems because he is somebody who loves to explain himself, especially with regards to what he deserves from other people. He thinks other people have to pay their dues to be on his level. I've compared the emotional labor I've had to put in to somebody expecting me to run at the same pace as an Olympic sprinter. My boyfriend lectures me when I'm insecure about other women and refuses to do anything. I'm dealing with hormonal issues, and he takes it personally when I'm not always bubbly and smiling in his presence. He recently said he wanted a break, and I honestly wanted a break from his type A demands. I decided to move out, and my ex is driving Uber now since the company he worked for closed. So we agreed I would move in and take care of his son and my daughters while he works or job hunts. My mom is over a lot now, and the other day she said I'm acting like myself again. I was fine with her joking that for my 45th, I should tell my boyfriend to kick rocks. But I wasn't fine with her saying that my ex is a good man, and I lost a good man in him. I thought that was inappropriate and not true, and told her to leave my apartment. She shot back it wasn't even my apartment, but that she seems to have hit a nerve. Am I the a-hole? It sounds like OP's ex is actually a nice, caring person, not motivated by money, and OP's boyfriend is a jerk who thinks everyone should bow down to him because he makes a lot of money. OP's mother is right. She hit a nerve because I have a feeling OP knows this already. Literally everything OP listed seems to point to her ex being a good man. Making $17 an hour doing what you love doesn't make a bad man. Also, looks like he was the one who loved OP enough to marry her. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Yes, I'm ready to rumble says, it's interesting how you divorced your ex for not meeting your standards. And now the same thing is happening to you with someone who seems like you don't even like as a person. You're in for a crazy 10 years dealing with this dude. I guess you're lucky he never wanted to marry you. You might want to have people in your corner. Kinda seems like you need it. Obsidian Knight says, so your ex-husband took your assumingly unemployed self in with your 3 kids, 2 of which isn't his, letting you live off him. Again, is your emotional support human, and you're mad at your mom for pointing out that he's a good and possibly better man than the boyfriend that refused to marry you? That has a domineering personality, treats you like an inconvenience. Girl, you got your priorities all messed up. You're the a-hole, and your ex-husband is a saint for dealing with your BS. It recently came to my attention that my cousin Tommy stole an old watch of mine from me. It was kept in what was supposed to be a locked drawer in my parents' house. I had moved out a while ago now, so I wasn't even aware it was missing until Tommy was forced to come clean after someone stole the watch off him on a night out. I had bought the watch way back when for 3,000 AUD, but after factoring its age and condition, it's worth 1,500 AUD today. Unfortunately, the watch was not insured, nor does it seem likely that the thieves who stole from my cousin will be brought to justice, unless the thief decides to sell the watch to a reputable dealer who runs the watch's serial number on a stolen watch register, which in all fairness is a real possibility. I'm unlikely to ever see the watch again. It's worth noting that Tommy did not even have the courage to confess to me. He told his mother, who informed mine, who apprised me. He didn't apologize to me directly until a few days later, and not because he took initiative to own up to his mistakes, but because I demanded one from him. My perspective. I'm pissed. The watch was a gift I bought myself for landing my dream job out of university, so it carries a lot of sentimental value. I was not initially entertaining the idea of filing a police report on my cousin, but I did expect my cousin to apologize to me, as well as compensate me the $1,500 at the very least. Cognizant that Tommy is still a full-time student, I was open to the idea of Tommy spending 75 hours doing various chores around my house. Nothing demeaning, mowing the lawn, cleaning the backyard, etc., instead of reimbursing me the $1,500. My extended family's perspective. Apparently, asking me to be made whole was an unreasonable request. Various members of my extended family argued that Tommy is still studying, so $1,500 is an exorbitant sum for him. Tommy is studying a time-intensive course, pharmacy, so he does not have a lot of free time available. The tasks I'm asking of Tommy is degrading. That Tommy was mugged is punishment enough for his mistakes. I think all their arguments are pure BS, of course. Am I the a-hole? Frankly, this whole event is pissing me off to no end. The fact that Tommy isn't doing everything he can to make things right is aggravating me enough that I'm now toying with the idea of letting the police handle it. Am I the a-hole? You know what's more demeaning than mowing the lawn? Getting arrested for stealing from your family, which you could absolutely arrange. He stole a very expensive and sentimental item from OP, had his mommy spill the beans after he then was robbed, and didn't even apologize until directly prompted. If getting mugged was punishment enough, then he would be acting like he learned his lesson. He is not. The whole "he's in school, he doesn't have time" thing is also BS. Everyone in OP's family should be grateful for OP not pressing charges, nor demanding the $1,500 up front, which OP is fully entitled to. OP's cousin sucks, and his mommy and everyone else excusing his behavior likely has contributed to it. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Easter Bunny 618 says, not the a-hole. 1. He confessed to his mother because he lost the watch, not because he felt guilty. 2. He took a 3,000 AUD watch to a nightclub. He very well knew the dangers. 3. The punishment you have proposed is decent enough. It is not severe enough to leave a police record, but not light enough to let him go without his actions having repercussions. 4. He is an adult and is doing pharmacy. What if in a later stage he steals D and says someone stole it from him to try to get out of trouble? 5. You're not even asking him to pay. If that is such a problem for his parents, then ask his parents to pay up front of 2,000 AUD for emotional distress plus the watch. 6. He did not even apologize to you. You had to confront him for him to say sorry. If I were you, I would honestly file a police report or ask for at least the watch's original value from him or his parents. I would not let him do the chores to cover up for his mistakes, and I would ban him from my house forever. He would lose all my trust. What you are doing is generous for that kid. Ryder Jugsta says, not the a-hole. Tell them he is a thief, and they should be glad you decided to keep the police out of it and only have him compensate for the current value and not the new value. Tell them it was an offer because he is family, and you respect them, and you did consider he is only a student, and therefore found a way for him to pay off his debt without needing actual money. But if they don't think that is the way to go, you will happily recover the value of your lost property through official means, and will file a police report.